As new technologies are advancing and the market is getting tougher, redesigns, updates, and introductions to new models are getting more and more frequent. And in such a landscape, Nissan is more than ready to tackle the next year and take a much better position in the market because it has prepared a full set of big novelties. Yes, you heard us well. Nissan CEO just announced 6 new Nissan models and wowed everybody. Number 6. Nissan Hardbody. Nissan engineers and designers have been pretty busy over the last year, and now the Japanese automaker proudly presents the new 2025 lineup. Novelties are various, and one of the things that come to mind first is the refreshed Frontier. Its hardbody edition, to be more precise. Yes, as part of this refresh, the 2025 Nissan Hardbody comes new and stands out in so many different ways. It's based on the crew cab version with standard 4-wheel drive, and of course, it's all about aesthetic upgrades. One look is enough to see that the new special edition pays homage to the original hardbody, which was popular throughout the 80s and 90s. In this particular case, the most notable is that stunning red paint scheme, which comes with a full batch of black details, starting from a sports bar, off-road rails, fender flares, etc. Furthermore, this version stands out with unique 17-inch heritage wheels and some cool retro decals, while the black interior details emphasize the exclusivity of this particular edition even more. Other than visual updates, the hardbody comes standard with all-terrain tires, but the suspension as well as the powertrain remain pretty much the same as in the standard version of this mid-size pickup truck. But with all these aesthetic upgrades in mind, the price is expected to start at around $45,000. Number 5. Infiniti QX80. After so many years and so many updates, Infiniti's flagship model finally gets a full redesign. The new generation debuts as the 2025 QX80, and the first thing that you'll notice is a completely new styling. The QX80 always looked great from the outside, but this very fresh appearance elevates the look to the next level. Some traditional shapes and forms are still there, but in a completely new, significantly more futuristic manner. Despite the similar size and proportions to the previous generation, this is a completely new vehicle. For example, the good old V8 has finally been replaced, and the new 3.5-liter turbo V6 looks quite impressive with its max output of 450 horsepower. Furthermore, Nissan installed a completely new all-wheel drive system and coupled it with a tried-and-true 9-speed automatic gearbox. The suspension is also new and turns the QX80 into a legitimate premium player, considering that all but the base trim comes with standard air suspension. Finally, there's the interior design. Yes, the new QX80 is as spacious as you would expect, but with the new dashboard design, it's legal to say that the 2025 model skipped at least 2 generations in terms of aesthetics. Finally, Infiniti's full-size SUV looks modern, even more than that. Massive screens and other tech features also leave a great impression, just like the new materials and overall sense of quality do, which are on par with pretty much every rival in the segment. But of course, going more upscale also means going north in terms of price. So the base version now starts at around $87,000, while the 2 highest trim levels step deep into the 6-figure territory. Number 4. Nissan Maxima EV. 2 decades ago, sedans were at their peak and the Maxima was representing the top of Nissan's offer, but things have changed and it seems like no one cares about classic sedans anymore. The Maxima was destined to be killed, but then Nissan decided to give it another shot. But no, this isn't just another redesign. It's more of a completely new model that just uses a familiar name because the new one is all electric. The 2025 Nissan Maxima EV comes as an integral part of Nissan's massive electrification plan, according to which EVs are expected to account for 40% of total sales already in 2026. And this full-size electric sedan will certainly contribute, considering that it looks great. We like the styling, while traditional Maxima lovers will be happy to see that the well-known nameplate isn't used for some crossover SUV like some other companies do these days. The attractive styling is complemented by the premium-looking interior wrapped in nice materials and equipped with massive screens and the latest connectivity features, but most importantly, the new sedan will be more capable than ever. Base versions will feature a single electric motor with 215 horsepower. As for the dual-motor variant, count on 389 horsepower, more power than any Maxima had so far. But that's not even the most capable variant, because Nissan just announced a high-performance version with 483 horsepower and 590 pound-feet of torque. This definitely is a new page in the Maxima's history. From what we know so far, the new Maxima will arrive next year, and the starting price is estimated at $44,000. Number 3. Nissan Kicks. It may not be as flashy as some of the novelties we just talked about, but the all-new generation of the Nissan Kicks is definitely one of the most important new models for next year. Because despite all the talk about electrification, more upscale models, and similar things, there is still a massive group of customers that mostly care about cheap transportation. For them, the new Kicks is huge news. Because the new generation won't get much pricier, base models will start at around $23,000, which is cheaper than most compact sedans these days. At the same time, the new model is bigger, boxier, and more practical than its predecessor. Moreover, it looks more mature than the previous one, while things like futuristic wheels or that fancy two-color scheme with a floating roof definitely move the new model a tier up compared to the old one. The same kind of improvement is on the inside, where the 2025 model benefits from larger screens, more advanced tech features, and improved build quality. Yes, this is still a cheap subcompact SUV, but you can't find areas that look unforgettably cheap anymore like it was the case with the previous model. Last but not least, Nissan addressed one of the biggest complaints, the lack of power. The old 1.6-liter is gone and a 2-liter inline-4 takes its place with an extra 20 horsepower and 26 pound-feet of torque. That would be 141 horsepower and 140 pound-feet of torque. Not exactly mind-blowing, but certainly a nice improvement over the previous model. Moreover, all-wheel drive is available with a new snow drive mode, imposing the new kicks as a great cheap alternative to Subarus and other all-wheel drive models that are particularly popular in snowy areas. Number 2. Nissan Leaf. Changes on the Nissan Leaf are always big news. Simply, this is a true pioneer, the first mass-production electric car in the world, which gathered a huge following over the last decade or so. Even the second generation, which was nowhere as great as the original, managed to retain a decent level of popularity. But everyone knew that a legendary name like this deserved so much more. And the new generation is finally coming, and once again, it's much more than just a redesign. The nameplate will remain the same, but it will decorate a completely new body style, an all-electric crossover, heavily inspired by the chill-out concept with aerodynamic lines, a sloping roof, and a futuristic front-end design. The new Leaf will definitely turn heads, but that won't mean much without proper performance and range. After the underwhelming second generation, the next one promises much more, considering that insiders suggest a base setup with a single electric motor and 217 horsepower, which would come coupled with a 60 kilowatt-hour battery pack and nearly 300 miles of range. Price is still unknown, but if Nissan manages to pull all these features in a relatively affordable package, we have no doubt that the Leaf will go through an absolute redemption and is going to be a front-runner again. And we will find that out pretty soon, considering that the launch is planned already for the next year. Number 1. Nissan Electric Pickup. Nissan's pickup truck lineup has seen better days. While the midsize Frontier still performs decently, the Titan is pretty much walking dead, as it became a sales dud long ago. Nissan desperately tries to move things from a dead spot, and to do that, it will introduce a pickup of tomorrow, an electric pickup. So far, we haven't heard much from officials, but the plan is to launch such a vehicle in the next year or so. We may presume that the new pickup will be based on the Surf-Out concept. That futuristic pickup came with dimensions that are smaller compared to the midsize Frontier, suggesting that Nissan may be targeting the compact pickup segment. But that doesn't mean it'll lack performance, no. It will come equipped with a dual motor setup and decent output, while the new E-Force all-wheel drive setup is expected to ensure excellent off-road performance and strong work capabilities. Moreover, Nissan will also install an onboard generator and ensure sufficient economy even during the toughest exploitation. All that combined with futuristic styling and a minimalistic but practical interior could turn Nissan's electric pickup into a bestseller. But that'll only be possible with a competitive price, which is something we're still waiting to hear about more from officials. Thanks for watching and see you next time.